Welcome to Reggie's World, the podcast that everybody's talking about. Why? Because you have a young man who was born on Joy Road and Dexter in the city of Detroit, had a dream at age 7 to broadcast on the radio airwaves in order to effect positive change in my community. And my name is Reggie Reg, and I welcome you to the program today. And on today's show, I have two individual persons who, had I not worked alongside of these two great people, these young people, one of them sitting over to my right, like she's about 10 years younger than me. If I had not had the opportunity to work with this young lady and this young man, I don't think I would be who I am, where I am today, and who the individual that I am today, and that is Reggie Reg, your cousin Reggie Reg. Why? Because working with these two outstanding individual people helped me to elevate, my stature, elevate my mind, and be more creative and feel, good about myself. So let me stop and introduce everybody to the two outstanding individuals who are joining me on the show today, and this is by far the queen of comedy, the queen, the sister of Detroit radio. Everybody y'all remember her comedy club on Jefferson? Everybody put your hands together for Sister CoCo.
Yeah. The mic sounds nice.
Check one.
The mic sounds nice.
Check two.
What up, though?
CoCo, how you doing, baby?
I am doing amazing. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. The sun is shining and the birds are being served, and that's that.
My mother told me to tell you hello.
Tell your mother hello.
So they don't know the story, but she said hello.
Later on, I'm gonna tell them the story later on about how me and your moms got to be real cool and how old you were when we met. But that's a whole nother
subject. And two of the greatest nurses on earth to this day.
God bless you, baby.
All right, also joining me is a young man from Southwest Detroit. This brother know how to put it down. Listen, the reason why I like this young fella right here is because he's like me. He can associate with cats in the streets. I mean, all of them, the Pookies, the Rayways, the whomever. He can go to the church. He can go downtown to the Capitol Hill, talk to the mayor, the governor, the president, and all of them respect this brother. He's funny as hell. Everybody loves him. Everybody, welcome to the program, Foolish!
Pass the blood.
Right. Check one. For real. Foolish, welcome to the show, my dog. Yellow Boys.
I had to drink me some ginger, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm under the weather a little bit. This COVID winter we about to have is making my voice go Gerald Levert.
Right. So I want to again thank you guys and everybody just one time just to put all the math together in the proper perspective. Everybody put your hands together for CoCo and Foolish.
Yeah.
Go easy on me, baby.
The radio stations, all those big companies, and I don't give a damn. We about to run this disclaimer in a minute, but all those big dogs in radio, those companies like iHeart and Cumulus and
Push.
Evergreen and Beasley and whoever else. You take cats like myself and CoCo and Foolish. We bring you all the listeners, give you all the ratings, and you pay us a minuscule amount of money and take all the money and then push us out whenever you feel you want to. That shit is over with, okay? And that's why we're going to run this disclaimer right now. So anybody that's listening to this program, in case you have it confused, I'm going to break it down for you. All right? So let's roll this disclaimer so you can get a better understanding.
The views and opinions of Reggie's World podcast are absolutely positively those of Grown Folks Radio Network, the parent company, the Express Yourself Network. And due to the fact that we are broadcasting via internet radio and not the antiquated terrestrial radio broadcasting method, I can say what the hell I want to say without a program director who really does not care what the hell I say. But due to the fact that he works for a gigantic corporate radio group that really doesn't give a damn about the concerns that need to be addressed in my community, but they are instead standing on pins and needles with the FCC. So he tells me to refrain from being me by having a very strong opinion about any and every damn thing I wish to have a strong opinion about, followed by a threat to reprimand me if I continue to be my individual human self by standing up for my absolute constitutional right to express myself through freedom of speech, which is a strong part of this nation's law of the land, instead of just simply allowing a brother to express himself. Well, for clarification, I am here on Reggie's World to speak as freely and as genuinely as I fucking please. Because as the title says, this is my world. So if you have a problem with me expressing my viewpoint on life's issues, then here's my recommendation for you, dear cousin. Turn me off. Turn me the hell off. And that there concludes this disclaimer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he missed it. Yeah, the producer, he jacking off today. Over there jacking off in the corner today.
That's the only
it
thing.
was on there. It was literally on. He pulled it down.
Oh, that's the only thing missing.
Hey, that's the first time. That's the first time I heard him cuss on the radio.
Listen, I was finna get up and walk out like, what in the press
I
delivered
thought Reggie was an angel. Anyway, all right, so today what we're discussing, y'all, is a situation that I'm just totally appalled by. And before I begin to speak, I want to say to all women's organizations that are listening to this program right now, understand me, wrong is wrong. But at the same time, you know, I'm a male feminist. I love women. I believe in equal rights for women. If a woman is working for Pepsi as a CEO making $700 million a year, she should be on at the same level as the guy at Coke, the CEO, making the same amount. You know what I mean? So my point to the matter is, it's nothing against a woman. I'm not misogynistic. I love women. But I'm going to say about R. Kelly, the king of R&B, R. Kelly, this genius. This guy was a little boy in school, and he would be in the 5th and 6th grade in the music class, in front of the class, with the instructor and all the kids sitting there watching him with all of their mouths open because he's performing a concert on a piano sounding just as good as Stevie Wonder. This guy was a genius. He was also molested. You all saw the documentary with R. Kelly, right? Was it Surviving R. Kelly? You guys saw that? So on that documentary, it talked about how this man was molested by family members and other people. His brother talked about it. R. Kelly couldn't read. When he received his first $1 million check, he couldn't read. So he has an issue that is more of a mental capacity, something that we need to call the psychiatrist, the psychologist, the neurologist, and whomever else to come in and help this man. So it's not a criminal matter for R. Kelly. It is a mental matter. And just to break the science down, to bring everybody up to date on everything with R. Kelly, last September, the Grammy Award-winning artist, R. Kelly, underwent a 6-week trial, which put him in the courtroom to face a prosecution team that said he was an abuser who sexually, physically, and emotionally violated young women over the course of 2 decades. Kelly was depicted as an entertainer with an infinity for underaged girls, including my girl, the late R&B songstress Aaliyah, rest in peace. Prosecutors alleged Kelly illegally married the singer at the tender age of 15 to prevent her from testifying against him in 1994. Now, the 54-year-old R. Kelly was found guilty of all 9 charges brought before him involving the crimes of racketeering. How the hell you give him a charge him with racketeering and sex trafficking? And also 8 counts of violating the Mann Act, which is a federal statute making it a crime to transport a woman across state lines for immoral purposes. Kelly's final hearing is set for May 4th, where he potentially faces 10 to life in prison, which is crazy as hell. R. Kelly also enlisted the legal help of Bill Cosby's lawyer. The young lady who got Bill Cosby off the hook is now helping R. Kelly with his appeal, and that's good stuff. So my thing is this, and just to put a stamp on the situation about R. Kelly, I want you to check out this piece. Let's run that first piece, boss, on R. Kelly. Take a look.
A long-awaited sex abuse trial of R&B sensation R. Kelly. On day one of his New York trial, the prosecution called the singer a predator who lured girls, boys, and women with his fame and then dominated them physically, sexually, and psychologically. We'll hear more about what happened in court, but first, here's ABC's Janae Norman on what led up to today's dramatic testimony.
Once the self-proclaimed king of R&B, superstar R. Kelly, now called the mastermind behind a criminal enterprise in this Brooklyn federal courtroom where opening statements began in the sex abuse case against him. Kelly appearing stoic, occasionally whispering to his lawyer. The mood in the courtroom solemn. Court documents allege Kelly used his fame to recruit women and girls to engage in illegal sexual activity, some minors at the time of the alleged abuse. The prosecution vividly describing what they say the alleged victims endured, including claims of getting herpes from Kelly and countering the defense's argument that the women were just groupies. Kelly, who was indicted back in 2019, is facing 1 count of racketeering and 4 counts of violating the Mann Act.
The state is saying that he transported them across state lines in order to commit sexual acts with them, which would be illegal. The racketeering comes in because it pulls all this together. And it also allows for instances that otherwise wouldn't have made it into this trial can now be used in this trial.
If convicted on all counts, R. Kelly faces 10 years to life in prison. He's pleaded not guilty. Still, a dizzying fall from grace. I believe I can fly. For the Grammy Award winner who reigned on top of the charts for inspirational hits like I Believe I Can Fly and party favorites like Ignition Remix. But R. Kelly is no stranger to controversy. In 1994, he married singer Aaliyah, just 15 years old at the time. Kelly was 27.
His brand and his star was so much bigger than any of the headlines that was coming across. And I think we just, foolish on us, shame on us, look the other way, kind of brushed it under the rug.
Their marriage annulled less than a year later. Allegations of sexual abuse following Kelly for years, with some claims settling out of court. In 2002, Kelly was charged with child pornography, allegedly seen in a sex tape with an underage girl. He was acquitted of the charges in 2008. All the while, the singer still climbing the charts.
It became like this really unfortunate, tragic way of looking at child pornography in ways that we should have never allowed that to happen. Instead of, did you see it? It should have been, how could he have done that?
But things began to unravel for Kelly in 2017 with a news report claiming to blow the lid off a so-called cult run by the artist, according to parents and a former associate who were interviewed. The article in BuzzFeed alleging that Kelly had 6 women under his control and that, quote, he controls every aspect of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in sexual encounters that he records. That bombshell lighting a firestorm in the era of the Me Too movement. Soon, the hashtag Mute R. Kelly was created, calling for fans to boycott his music. Black Girls Matter! And activists demanding deeper investigation into the singer. Then, in 2019, Lifetime releasing a damaging raw docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly.
I'm sorry.
Featuring his alleged victims, including his ex-wife, Drea Kelly.
We had, for the first time, the ability to see all of his victims essentially lined up, episode after episode, scene after scene. You could not but be affected by that.
A month later, Kelly was charged in Chicago with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse.
You see R. Kelly get charged and you see him walk in handcuffs. That was shocking to me because we were, for the first time, seeing these women's stories be validated.
He was later indicted in federal court in New York, where he now stands trial.
The prosecution is really going to be looking to show that these are not isolated events. It's not one woman, and that they were not free to leave.
We're going to straighten all this stuff out.
Kelly has fiercely denied all charges against him, including in this explosive interview with CBS News back in March of 2019.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
When we look at his defense, we're going to see a lot of information about the fact that he was a highly well-known, sought-after celebrity. So bodyguards are not unusual. And having bodyguards, escort his latest paramour to a room isn't unusual. She wasn't being held captive. She wanted to stay. So we're going to see a lot of that being broken down very specifically.
But regardless of the outcome, the singer's legacy forever tainted by the disturbing and graphic allegations depicting him as a serial sexual predator.
I think his legacy is going to be more so the absence of R. Kelly, right? And the ability for us not to push play. And I think that is a victory for his victims, that they essentially have stopped the music.
Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Our thanks to Janae for that.
Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us, this is Reggie's World. I'm your host, Reggie. Joining me today, CoCo and Foolish, and we're talking about R. Kelly, man. R. Kelly, listen, this situation. Okay, we're gonna start with you, young brother. I like to hear your science to this whole thing. R. Kelly, this man is a genius. When he takes you to the studio, whether you can sing or not, he's gonna make a hit song for you, and you're gonna have Grammys. You're gonna make a whole lot of money. You're gonna get royalty checks every. How is it that we're gonna just throw this man in jail, give him 10 to 30, and call him a predator or a pedophile when they didn't even discuss at one time? During that court proceeding, I watched it every day. Not one time did they say this man may have a mental case. Something's wrong with his mind. It's not a criminal case for him. It's something more mental. Why didn't we try him that way?
Well, the simple fact is he has tainted the mentality of young ladies that they probably won't be able to grow up and be anything. He took their lives away because they were groupies. And they were his slaves. And whenever you take a mentality from a person, there is some repercussions from that. This is called pimping. Don't nobody want to say it, but this is how you pimp. He got them young girls to travel with him, and at the same time, his wife knew everything. The one that looked like Ray Allen.
right.
She knew everything. And to me, I think that's what drove him to go with young girls. After seeing and waking up to Ray Allen for so many years,
wow,
he said to himself, "Man, I need a younger face." But what really made me mad was the record labels. Not one record label would drop him. Nothing that he did was looked at like, okay, we ain't gonna mess with him. We're not canceling R. Kelly. You couldn't cancel R. Kelly because, see, when the devil make that music, he gets a whole bunch of people to follow him from music, not from your life and what you do in the community, but from music. If you read the Bible and you pay attention to some of the ways that a lot of people get into things, it's through music. And he used music to fiddle his way into them young girls' lives and fuck it up.
But you know what, CoCo?
Yes.
He talking about the music, right?
So let me.
What about I Believe I Can Fly? What about I'm that star up in the sky? I'm that mountain peak up high.
Stop the car.
He saves lives with that type of messaging in the music.
Listen to me. I'm gonna back all the way up. I'm gonna back up and pull into this parking spot. It's about three things here. Okay, you say he was molested. So was I. I was molested more than one time by various people. All of them were close to my family. And with that being said, never once have I looked at a person and wanted to victimize them sexually or molest them or anything. I've always been the person that wanted to advocate for those individuals. See, let me tell you something. The human body is one of the most disposable things in the world. We don't want to say it. We don't want to have this conversation, but the human body, especially the human body of a woman, is so disposable. It is so disrespected. It is so disregarded that a person is able to take that being and manipulate them, because it's two types of people. It's sociopaths and it's psychopaths. R. Kelly would fall under the category of both. So if he indeed we talking about mental illness, then if he is to do 10, 20, 100 years, then he serves his time in a forensic institution that deals with people that are predatory, be they a serial killer, a serial rapist, or whatever. Now, the next thing is we say those young ladies were willing victims. No, if your parents have groomed you, let's talk about this. If you have been groomed to be a certain thing, or, hey, we're going to sacrifice your body to get this money or these concert tickets or whatever it may be, then you're groomed for that. We're groomed. A lot of people are groomed to be the sacrifice for their families. We can act like it don't exist, especially in families of color, especially generationally. Right now, we dealing with the holiday season. You know how many people went to their people's house the other day for Thanksgiving and didn't nobody say nothing to their uncle or their aunt or their grandfather that had molested them and touched them? They was like, we going over Big Ma house. Don't say nothing to Uncle so-and-so. Uncle so-and-so has been
his ass whooped.
And has been a predator in the family for generations, and ain't nobody skull drugged that motherfucker outside and whooped his ass and dropped nothing heavy on his head.
And why didn't they?
Because the human body is disposable, and until we rethink what the human body is and how we need to talk to men and how we need to talk to women and how men say stuff to women and we don't say nothing to them, we don't check them on it. We're disrespectful when it comes to how we dialogue with each other. We vilify, we fetishize, and all of that stuff. If R. Kelly has done everything that we said he did, R. Kelly need to sit his ass down in a forensic facility and he can get all the mental help that he wants. We're not going to use the fact that he was molested as an excuse, because so was I and so was millions of other people, and I ain't never wanted to touch a child or another vulnerable human being.
Hey, you know what? You got to applaud people for that. Now, not saying anything against what you're talking about, Reggie, because I understand that when we see people who are rich and they black and they powerful, we don't want to see them fall.
Right.
Yep.
But how
a black
he got,
man, we fall all the time.
But how he got powerful and what he did with it is what's at question. See, when you get that actual power where people cling to you, it's up to you to put the love in their heart and the knowledge, if you know what you're doing. If you're going for something that's, more selfish, that's what I see R. Kelly did.
The man couldn't read. He could not read.
Hey man, that ain't got nothing to do.
That ain't got nothing to do.
Hold on. You really believe that?
Well, okay, so let me say this. It's been several other entertainers that they said couldn't read or write but could produce music. I know people right now can't read and write, and they got businesses, and they millionaires. So not being able to read that don't mean nothing in terms of you attacking and praying and victimizing another individual. Okay?
Respect. But
Okay,
CoCo, you
listen.
are CoCo, and he is R. Kelly.
So
you don't respond to the same triggers. You know what I'm saying? You're two different
But see,
people.
okay, but listen.
He has issues mentally.
Okay, we all got issues.
So they should have considered that in the courtroom. They did not consider that, CoCo.
Let me say this. Every motherfucker that you come in contact with is fighting some demon.
That's right.
On
Absolutely.
my demon is cookies at 3:00 in the morning, getting out my bed, taking my naked ass downstairs. It don't matter. Cookies. Listen, and getting 4 or 5 cookies and limping my ass back up to my bed and sitting there and waking up with cookie crumbs on my titties. Everybody you see is fighting a fight. And anybody that tell you they're not fighting a fight, they lying. And I could say that. So we're not going to say, oh, he couldn't read. Yes, he might have been molested. He might have been functionally illiterate and able to produce some badass music.
Yeah.
That does not give you the right to prey on someone else. Now, is there some psychosis involved? Absolutely. But it don't give you the right to prey on nobody.
Where he from?
Chicago.
Where the pimps come from?
Chi-town.
So all I'm saying is, through that molestation, he learned the game of pimping. Because I don't know a lot of people who want certain age women around them all the time taking them out of town with him. Like, that's something that
That's
pimps
control.
do. That's pimping.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
racketeering. That's why they linked that to the
And you
racketeering.
gotta think
Racketeer
about
was the
this.
money involved with it too now.
Well, he had an enterprise. When he goes to a show, his boys know who to look for, the type of girl he wants, bring
and
her to the room.
they need to be hog-tied too.
And he needs to be locked up for eating ass for over 2 hours. When he ate that one baseball player's ex-wife ass for 2 hours, I was disgruntled.
Jesus, fix it. Fix it, Jesus.
Okay, look, I want you guys, I know you guys don't want to see this. I know Coco probably tired of seeing this, but I want to play this again on purpose. I know we've all seen this, but this is the piece that Gail did with R. Kelly. And when you see this, some people like me will say, hey, this brother was emotional. I believe him. And him jumping up and crying.
Reggie, all psychopaths and sociopaths are emotional.
Okay, but at the same
That's how
time,
they draw you in.
Play that clip.
I'm surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and seeing things on the blogs, and I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God, all of them. Got little girls trapped in the basement, helicopters over my house, trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house, handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult. I don't even really know what a cult is, but I know I don't have one,
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong when it comes to women that I apologize, but I apologize in those relationships at the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Yeah. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife, Kitty Jones, Lisa Van Allen, Lisette Martinez, Geronda Pace, Faith Rogers, Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you, that you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress? Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never?
No.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all that we've read.
I'm going to tell you something, Gail. There's one thing. I'm going to tell you something.
Said about you.
What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
How stupid would it be for R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding.
That's stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not true. It doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out. Robert, and they're ending up buried in deep.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk. But I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly, you do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional, Robert, and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say speak. Something. Yeah. I've said nothing.
All right, so CoCo, R. Kelly is psychologically effed up.
Listen to me. Let me say this, and I'm trying to be calm. I'm yet to hear anybody say, thieves don't tell you that they steal. Murderers don't tell you that they kill. Rapists and predators and people that perpetuate sexual assault don't say that they have the same behavior that Mr. Kelly has. He does have a problem. That's very well true. And the problem needs to be dealt with in the confines of an 8x8 cell in a forensic facility. We have to separate creativity from somebody that is an animal, and all of those things. And we tend to think, and this is part of our issue, because you're talented, you can't do these other things. Because and we say it all the time with the football player that just jumped on his girlfriend and threw her around like a rag doll. People were like, well, he had such a promising career and he was such and such and such. Detach that from the reality of what we saw. R. Kelly has a problem. We don't want to admit to that. R. Kelly has a problem. Just like the family, the Turpin family, who had kept their children. They had like a dozen children. Diane Sawyer just did it on 2020s. One of the daughters, 17-year-old daughter, escaped the house. She had a phone. She called the police. These children, this whole family, has to learn everything. They don't know what nothing is or whatever. They own mom and daddy. They biological mom and daddy kept them chained in feces and in urine, didn't feed them, kept them chained to the bed and everything. Their daddy was an engineer. And the mama shopped all day long. When the police went in the house, it looked like some shit you see on Hoarders. 12, I think it's 12 children, and the neighbors, because they lived in a very nice neighborhood, act like they didn't know nothing going on.
They was white, right?
Yes.
Hello. They ain't talking to them no more.
Listen, but the stench alone from that house with that urine and feces. No, they going down.
If R. Kelly was white, it'd be a totally different scenario.
No, they going down.
Well, I put it to you like this. I don't feel sorry for somebody who continuously went into the sexual state of mind that he was in. He didn't want to sit up there and get no help. You ain't never hear about no psychiatrist talking to R. Kelly. He kept getting molested every concert. I hosted 3 New Year's Eve concerts with R. Kelly at the Fox. Women were running up to him, grabbing all on his motherfucking upper bottoms and they grabbed so many spaces on him. Wasn't nothing else to grab. And he didn't fight them. I saw my auntie go up there and touch his dick. I said, I ain't never going over our house again. Not one Thanksgiving or Christmas. But I swear, when people want help, they talk to God. That's what I did to get off the streets. I talked to God. I locked down my mind state and went to God. Some people ain't that powerful, but some people don't want to do it anyway.
Does R. Kelly know God?
R. Kelly.
Most demons know God.
R. Kelly has faked out God.
Most people that operate in the realm of demonic treachery know God.
And guess what?
Even Satan know God.
Yeah, but
he took the blessings.
Reggie,
he took the blessings that God gave him. He took the blessing
and manipulated people with them. Absolutely. So Reggie, let me give
use
you.
God.
Let me and see
like so many
people do. They use your God-given gift that you give. Reggie, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I'm on the road working, doing my thing. Had just did a big comedy show out of state, and really wasn't a person that really did after party. Sometimes it depends on who was with, who I was working with, or whatever. Get back to my hotel room, put my robe and stuff on, and I keep hearing footsteps up and down the hall and giggling. I'm like, well, damn, wait a minute. I know most of the people on this floor, comedians. The comedian that was headlining the show wasn't on our floor, but all the other comedians on the floor. So I kept hearing giggling and people knocking on doors, and I said, well, what's going on? I opened my hotel room door. It was 3 young ladies standing there. Now, I immediately knew they were young. Let me tell you why. When they was talking, I said, what y'all doing? None of my real business, fat bitch. I said, oh, okay. Wait. First of all, I knew the way they was standing in them heels that they was young. I knew the way they was holding their purse, they was young. And I knew with their little baby teeth, they was young. So I knew them little half teeth. Young girls, young people had half teeth. So they stand up there and they talking, we trying to find so-and-so room. I said, y'all can't be walking up and down the hall, run up and down the hall, knocking on doors. Now, here's the thing. They might have been 17, 18 years old. I could have went back to my bed and got in the bed and went to sleep. And anybody, not saying the cats I was working with would have pulled them in the room, but anybody could have pulled them in the room. I went to the desk, called the desk. I said, hey, we need security up here on the 7th floor. It's some young ladies running up and down the hall, knocking on doors, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Miss Walter, no problem. I heard walkie-talkies, ding, elevator opening, people running up the steps, and I'm standing in my door again because I went into auntie mode. The girls started cussing me out. Bad bitch, you snitching. You mad because don't nobody want you. I said, I'm trying to save your life tonight because it's so easy for things to go left. I don't even think I could have slept had I went back and got in the bed, and anything could have happened to these girls.
Where their mom at?
Come on, man. You know how many girls climb out of windows or go to concerts or whatever?
Or they mama drop them off.
And it's so funny because they had their ticket stubs. We came to the concert to see y'all. They had their ticket stubs. And I'm like, y'all can't do this. Because things go left so fast. Any other person could have pulled them in. Any other person could have did anything. I couldn't have slept. So I was like, oh, no, y'all got to go. And they cussed me out and said, you hating because don't nobody want you, whatever. You just going to live another day.
Hey, you know what? Here go a big thing that we never looked at. A lot of the people that R. Kelly started off with, he didn't end with. You know, when you started
public announcement.
Yeah, I mean, when you started off with the Honey Love, you had public announcement. Wow. It started that, like back then, they were snitching on him. They was like, yo, dog ain't right. They was letting people know then.
And that's probably why they career went in the direction that it went in. I saw Public Announcement maybe 15 years ago, and that was the last time I saw them perform.
That's right. They were selling drugs.
They fell out.
I saw them in Minnesota.
Yeah, they all fell out. But listen here, this is something I want y'all to consider. I'm going back on defense because this is a brother. I'm a brother. Black men in this world, we fall, and when we fall, we fall hard. I get that, but R. Kelly, listen, you guys talk about the bump and grind, in the closet, all that stuff. Okay, these are adult music, songs that adults like. We listen to. They talk about sex and all this type. Okay, fine. How about the fact that when you look at the downtrodden, the homeless, people who are alcoholics and have issues, and they listen to songs by R. Kelly, which we never talk about because he has a big cachet of inspirational songs. I mean, not just I Believe I Can Fly, which is an incredible song that people love, and that's fine, but it's an incredible message that people all over the world relate to.
Cause I sell weed. I hate songs that's a weed song and they try to make inspirational. This is a weed song.
Come get me, y'all.
I Believe I Can Fly. That is a weed song.
Come on now.
Okay, he's right. That ain't no joke. That is a weed song.
Fix it all, Jesus.
But CoCo, like I was telling you earlier, it's a whole bunch of songs. I wish I had them to play right now, but I don't. One of the songs that he had that I really like, some of the chorus goes, or the bridge of the chorus says, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high, I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the ropes, I'm the world's greatest. He had another song where he talks about the first verse, he's in a car and he's driving fast in the express lane, and he's drunk. He was just drinking from a club. He had like 5 drinks or whatever, and he's drunk. So his phone rings, and he tried to can't find it. It fell on the floor. He tried to reach for it in the front and the back. A truck hits him, goes T-bones him, a big truck. And next thing, he's in the hospital on life support, and his family is standing in front of him, telling him let it go. Okay, so these songs, we don't consider that. We don't talk about R. Kelly's as a genius, the great music that he makes.
You can make genius songs. Satan, the devil, was beautiful and dealt in music. In the Bible, Solomon deals with songs and music. Music is, what's the saying? Music soothes the savage beast. So you can put the right kind of music on, it could calm an adult down and a baby. So we're not talking about R. Kelly, the talent, the gifted writer, that person.
Why not? Why aren't we talking about that?
Because
that's my
they're
point.
two separate individuals.
Thank you. My point exactly.
No,
the
no,
man
no, wait.
and the
Hold
music,
on. No,
two
no, no.
different
No,
things.
listen to what I'm
just hit
saying.
my point.
Let me finish. R. Kelly, the writer, the producer, the singer, songwriter is one person. R. Kelly, the predator, the molester, the rapist is another person.
Right.
Because, hold on, we all have 3 dynamics to our personality, right? Are you here with me?
I'm there. Let's go.
Okay. Who you born, who you become, and what you do. Those are 3 different. We have 3 different distinct personalities: the id, the ego, and the alter ego, and we operate in those. Oh, don't get quiet on me, Reggie.
No, I'm feeling you.
We got 3. We got the id personality, we got the ego, and we got the alter ego. So R. Kelly was the id, and the writer was the id. Their alter ego was that other part, that dark part.
The dark part is what I like the most, because that's when I knew R. Kelly. When he came out with Woman's Threat, I said, this him right here talking to himself.
That was a song right there.
But he was talking to himself. He lost everything he said he was going to lose in that song to this day. He told you how he was going to turn out. That's what I liked about R. Kelly, because he had the answer to everything he was talking about. I only used R. Kelly to get some pussy. I don't know about the inspiration. I was inspired to get some pussy. That's it. 12 play that album right there. A lot of babies was made.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And it wasn't off inspiration. It was the mood that he put you in, which let you know that he ate a lot of ass back then.
CoCo, if R. Kelly was sitting right in that chair next to you right now, you and him in the room, just you and him, and you going to your medical, you nurse, you know about medicine, you know about mental health, what would you say to this brother?
I don't know. I don't know if I would even be comfortable sitting and sharing a space with him.
Oh, you leave. You get up and leave.
I'm not saying that. I don't know. Because one thing I know about the mind and psychosis is when you confront that, you're going to get a rebuttal. Whoever ever says they did something until they caught. Everybody that get caught, then they say, a man cheat on his wife, a woman cheat on her husband. She gonna walk that to the end. I watched the court show, the paternity court show. Look at his nose, Judge. Look at the nose. Look at the eyes. They got the same eyes. In the case of Jaquan Hawkins, you are not the father.
And you ain't do the backflip. Now, peep this though. I believe in forgiveness, but it's not up to me to really forgive him. He ain't did nothing to me. Those people that he touched in his time span of his talents are the people that have to forgive him and God. Us, we can't really judge because we got our own sins, but I am not the one to have to forgive him. I'm not the one to be opinionated enough to commit him. That's the law, and that's the people that he did those things to. But I will tell you this. When Dog get out, I will cop the album.
Right. So Foolish, okay, he's sitting next to you, one-on-one, you and R. Kelly. What does Foolish say to R. Kelly?
Man, you know what? This weed I got in my pocket, cuz you need to have some of this. You need to have some of this, dog. Now, I believe that you can still be friends with people who go through things, especially when they change for the better. Because that'll help you spirituality-wise, and it'll help them spirituality. Because when you join with a person who has been through something, and then y'all at this point where y'all done got through something, it's powerful. The God is there. So, you know, if R. Kelly came to us and really wanted to give us a good interview, I think it would be spiritual. But not the nigga on that Gail interview. I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to that nigga.
That's the part. You do have to forgive and all of those things. I'm just in the place of, my head is in the space of the victims, because that requires continual healing, because it affects, and I'm gonna use myself, being somebody that has been sexually assaulted multiple times. I am in heavy rotation with my therapist and my life coach. Each phase of my life brings about new things. So it's like if I'm dating a guy and I choose to share certain things with him, it's a way that I share certain things with him and redirect him or whatever. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it real quick. Had an incident with a guy and shared some things with him. We hadn't been dating for a while. And I told him, I said, listen, if we ever get intimate, don't ever hold me down where I feel like I can't get up. I said, don't do that. Don't choking me, you'll get busted in your head.
You don't like that?
Hell no. Hell no. So he said, well, no, I'm just saying, don't choke me, don't hold my shoulders down. Don't ever make me feel like I can't get away. Even though I'm a woman and I was bigger than him, it didn't matter. So we getting intimate, and he was holding me down. And I was like, let me go. You like this, take it. I promise you, I flipped out. When I came out of that, and it might have lasted for 2 or 3 minutes, he was naked, standing by the dresser in the hotel room, and I was sitting on the side of the bed breathing hard. I'm serious. And he was like, you crazy. I said, what did I? And I kept asking, I said, what did I do? He said, you just started pushing me and scratching me and everything. I said, what did you do? He said, I held your shoulders down after I told your punk ass not to hold them down. And I said, what did you say to him? Yeah, you like this, take it. I said, well, that's a trigger. That is a trigger. Man, I said, tomorrow. Then he went into, and you found out about people's behavior. All women like to get choked. I said, no, we don't. I said, you like to get pistol whipped?
Damn.
He talking about, no. I said, okay. I said, all women don't want to be choked. I said, just like all men don't want to be plugged in their butt and all that stuff like that. I'm just saying.
I'm so happy you said that.
But
I had a problem with that for a minute.
Oh, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother movie.
See, but that's where R. Kelly started. That R. Kelly brought out the fake sexual activities that's going on to this day.
No, it's real.
So many brothers eating ass for free.
Okay.
For free, man. You ain't even
You're
get a
probably
house
right,
key.
but listen,
You
that's
ain't getting
another
no
show.
house key.
That's another show, Coco.
Yes.
This is from me to you, a sister. You know, my God sister. Okay,
Yes,
I want to hear
yes.
this. Something that touches me about R. Kelly, and we're going back to the whole black man scenario because I am a black man. Might be the yellow version, but I'm a black man, and I'm affected anytime I see a brother who's successful and he falls down. From Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, name it. We got the whole list.
Okay, now wait.
But let me get to my point. Let me get to my point.
Yeah,
My point is this. What about that black man's family? We know that black families are destroyed many a time. And we can go through many different scenarios of how black families are destroyed, how society is set up to destroy us. What about R. Kelly? He has children. He has a family. What about his family?
Okay.
What about that relationship?
I think that relationship has been severed way before we got to this conversation. That's number one. Number two is, yeah, you a black man, I'm a black woman. We've been through a lot of woe and trials and tribulations or whatever. If you're a predator, if you done something inappropriate, it has to be dealt with. That's number one. Same dynamic for the brother that just came home from prison, get to spend his first Thanksgiving with his family, that was wrongly in prison for over 20 years for a crime that he commit. Now, who championed his cause for him to get back all them years he lost, all that money, all that time that was taken away? He got to re-socialize. He got to learn how to work all the new cell phones, all the remote controls, how to self-check at Walmart. He got to learn all this socialization.
I still don't know that self-check shit.
Listen, but he got to learn all of that because somebody accused him of something and he said he didn't do it and they sent him to jail. So what about him? Because I'm running and advocating for him. Now, listen. I believe we can get forgiveness. But sometimes, even though you get forgiveness, you still have to pay for what you did.
And think about this. Beautiful point of view. Anybody ever saw R. Kelly as a father? Have you ever saw anything promoted about him being a father?
With his kids.
His kids damn near 16, 17.
They probably older than that.
You know what I mean? So, I ain't saw him throw the ball to nobody. I ain't saw him at the daddy-daughter dance. They promoted him as the king of R&B, and that's it. They don't promote the reality in your life until it becomes ignorant and violent.
So CoCo and Foolish, you both are saying the hell with that man and his family. His family's destroyed. No reason for repair. Throw him in jail for 10 to 30 years, and the hell with his kids.
No,
that sounds like Judge Judy.
His family, and those close to him, his family definitely needs counseling and healing.
Right.
To the accessories, because it's no way one person can pull all these heinous acts off by themselves. There were accessories. If I'm on the tour with you, I'm your roadie, your manager, your valet, or whatever. I know all your proclivities, baby. I know what you do. I know how much cocaine you like.
What that mean?
I know how you get out. Let me say that.
Hold on, hit us with that proclivity.
Proclivities.
What's the definition of that
I
proclivity?
went to Murray right.
I know the words of the day, but that proclivity, I ain't did that.
Proclivity is what you are drawn and what you attracted to and what drives you and motivates you mentally, physically, and all of that.
You done gave
so
me one.
If I'm on the road, if me and Foolish on the road, I know what Foolish don't eat. If somebody say, what Foolish eat? I'd be like, Foolish don't eat that. Foolish he don't like that. He don't eat that. Don't do that or don't approach him like that. Foolish know what I do and don't eat. He know my habits. He know my lifestyle. So if I know him, he know me. Somebody on the road with us, in order for them to be a successful roadie and a valet, they got to know our habits. So to all the people that stood by and let that go on and didn't say nothing, they guilty as hell too.
See?
Lord have mercy.
Hey, here go one question I got for you.
Lord have mercy.
Here go one question I got for you.
What up, Foolish?
Would you let your daughter be around R. Kelly?
Man, now why you gonna ask me a question like that?
Because you're a father.
Come with it.
I'm a father. My daughter 12 years old.
I'm a mother.
He asked me a question. Y'all don't want me to answer a question?
Go ahead. That's it.
Your question is, would I let my daughter be around R. Kelly?
Straight up, your daughter.
Before all this came out, when it was just rumors, murmurings, would you let your daughter be around?
As long as I'm sitting there with a 45 automatic with 17 rounds in the clip and an extra clip, and I'm sitting right in the chair on the other side, yeah, I'll do it.
So that I can believe I can fly. Just fly out the goddamn door.
Hey, y'all. Good song, dog. So this is what I want to do. This hour, believe it or not, is wrapping up. I want to let everybody know this. This is Reggie's World. I am Reggie Reg, your host, and very grateful to be joined by the goddess of comedy, the goddess of the female in the city of Detroit and the Midwest. Sister
in the world,
CoCo,
in the
baby.
world, baby. Listen. My gift is gonna take me and continue to put me in the presence of royalty.
Yes.
Oh God.
And I've always had number love for you. I can tell people dreams I used to have about you when I was on the radio, and I had a dream about. I don't want to get into it right now, but because I'm confused about a term. And I don't want to get it twisted, but something about fellatio.
No, I don't know nothing about that.
No. It was a dream I had. See, y'all messed up my dream. That's
you messed that dream up.
Listen, that dream I'll tell you about another time. Anyway, so listen, because y'all throwing me off. This is where I'm trying to go. We're going to get to the fellatio, Reggie Red, and CoCo one day. I'll tell you about it. But you know, understand, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I got something.
I know that damn word.
Well, listen.
And that ain't a proclivity. That ain't a proclivity right there.
For some people, that is a proclivity, though.
All right, listen, this is what we got to close. So, CoCo and Foolish have joined me today because what we're getting ready for, we're setting up for these guys to have their own radio station. CoCo's House is the name of her radio station that's coming soon, all on the Grown Folks Radio. So look out, everybody. Put your hands together right now because CoCo's House radio station is coming soon. And my man, my dog, because we represent the Yellow Boys. I don't care what nobody say. Chico the Bars bought us back. Yellow Boys run this. I don't care what you say. CoCo.
Drake.
I don't care what you say. Drake bought us back. Yeah, but Chico started. That was my dog.
No, hell no. Chico wasn't the motherfucker to be paying attention to.
So anyway, Foolish has his radio station coming soon, and it's called Smoke and Joe Radio.
Smoke and Joke. Smoke and Joke.
Now, is that smoking and joking?
Like all we doing is literally having a hilarious time, man. And you know, I got some people that.
Why you smoking?
I hope to be smoking like soon, because that's one of my best things I love doing.
I'll be honest, I need to hit something
let me tell y'all something.
I'm for real.
Being away from radio and watching what has
goods too.
Had been actually brought up to a pedestal as podcast, and being able to express yourself with all the FCC problems and all that stuff. This is what we do. We've been wanting this, and people have been wanting us to have this. So this platform, Reggie's World, is the start. And I can't wait to see
Smoking
everything
Joe
else
Radio
that
with
from
Foolish and CoCo's House. I cannot wait. I'm telling you. Then we also have your favorite format, Inspirational Gospel. Foolish.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
you gotta get Fred Hammond on the show, baby.
And then CoCo, one of your favorite formats, Grown Folks Talk. We have a talk format, so we get ready for all that. You know what I mean?
We got to talk.
Oh,
and big shout out to Brother Machete, man. One of the good
Machete
brothers too, man. It's always dropping knowledge.
He on the team.
Oh yeah, I know.
Absolutely. And I also want to thank Nate Bell and Marley Blackman for always looking out and putting this whole piece together, and we about to get it, so let's do that. So I just want to say thank you again, CoCo and Foolish. I love
Reggie's
y'all.
World.
Family,
Reggie's
baby. My
World.
cousins
Reggie's
up in
Nation is going to be a Reggie Nation.
Yes, let's do it. So I want to say thanks for hanging out with us today, cousin. We'll talk to you again on the next episode of Reggie's World. Until then, check this out. Listen to me closely, cousin. Until we talk again, until you come back on the next Reggie's World podcast. Until then, I want you to be blessed.